Okay, guys. So we are now going to take a look at the charts. I'm going to give you targets. I'm going to give you take profits. And I'm going to show you Femex. And since we worked on the algorithm, I'm going to show you this algorithm that we coded and how to get to it. All right. Go to indicators, right? Type in traders, 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 reality, main. Okay? And then that is the indicator that we are using right now. Okay? This is the daily chart for Bitcoin. We're going to go down to the 1 hour chart so we can see exactly what's happening. Okay? And then what we're also going to do is we are not going to be over here, coin market cap, right? So Dogecoin actually has Doge Chain, all right? So this is something I want to show you also too. Market cap, what, 4.1 mil, all right? Look, 500K in volume, all right? And they also got some stuff going on there. So that's something I want to show you. All right. And also, we're going to be doing a revenue share. Okay. As you can see. Okay. It's all right here. It's inside my thing. It's telling you all about the project and how it's going to be going and how it's going to be rocking. All right. So basically, okay, we need, all right. Yeah, my boy right here, right? All right, let me drop it here for the peeps. All right. Okay, so then that way I can show you exactly what is going on here. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright. Okay, and then we got here, let's go back to the prices here. And then we're going to run down. Okay. Bitcoin ended up popping up to 84. So that is something that's beneficial. All right. So we're going to get that. We're going to get that popping. Okay. All right. So for you guys that are listening, we're going to create a community, and then we're going to create the Telegram group, and then we're also, I got me, my wifey, and my friend. We're going to be doing the development side. I also need 2 more developers, so that way we can do a multi-sig wallet. We'll talk about that more often. But let's go ahead and jump in and dive in into the cryptocurrency world we got here. All right. So anybody, okay, that joins, type in the chat your username on X, okay, and then invite. If you invite 10 people and they come and they say, hey, you know, this guy invited me, okay, so for every 10 people that you invite, all right, So we'll put it this way on the project, okay? So for people that are watching, for every 10 people that invite, for the first 100 people, okay, we'll get a percentage of the coins, okay? And then also, I'm going to be using Meteora, alright? And we're going to be doing revenue share, okay? And basically how that works is, okay, I'm going to be adding liquidity, alright? And that liquidity is going to earn, okay? And when that liquidity earns, alright, the top 50 to 100 wallets, okay, depending on how much you hold, you will get airdrops, okay? And then also, alright, they have these projects out there that, you know, have taxes, and then, you know, people earn, you know, Bitcoin, they earn, you know, USDC and all that kind of stuff like that. So, no taxes, and then what we use is, we use the money that we make off of the trading, okay, and then we take the profits, okay, we buy Bitcoin, alright, and then we disperse it to the top holders, okay, as revenue share, alright. And also, another thing that I'm going to be doing is, okay, and so for the first 50 people, okay, I dropped it on my X account, okay, so the first 50 people, alright, they will be the top 50, okay, and then the top 50 holders, we're going to have a, you know, a whale chat, okay, and basically, there's a new thing out there, right? Listen to this, okay? So if you're in the whale chat and you want to sell, right, okay, you don't sell on the market. What we do is we talk in the whale chat, you say how much you want to sell, we put an offer out there, and we do over-the-counter sales, so that way it doesn't affect the market and the price, okay? So there's so many different things that are going to be beneficial for this, right? I'm also going to create a farming, okay? And also, once we launch on Solana, all right, I'm going to be doing bridges to multiple different chains, okay? And then also we're going to be doing lending and borrowing, all right? And I also been collaborating with Baby Swap. I've been working with them for, man, since about 2019. And we're going to get something going on there. We're going to buy some land, okay, with the profits. And you actually make rent off that land, all right? The top 20 holders will be distributed for that land. So that's going to be revenue share, all right? So you guys really need to be watching this, okay? I need to actually, all right? Okay. Let me go here. Okay. Alright. Alright, so what we do here is, okay, upload files, reasons, and then upload voice, and then I actually, okay, Beast Coin, project to empower and strengthen meme coin, okay, creativity, alright, community governance, community art, revenue sharing, alright, so there's definitely beneficial, okay, and then what we see is, okay, and we also posted it on alright, okay, okay, that's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna let me put here. I'm gonna put all right. I support UFD, and then that's what we put in here. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Managing money, and then okay, and then we talked about okay, and yep, we got all that in there. Okay. All right. So, right now we got these people here, right? We got these people here. Okay. So we got this, we got this, we got that. Okay. Paste. Let me just paste that. All right. Get that rocking. All right. We got you rocking. Just getting all the dev team on there. So that way the dev team is on here. Okay. All right. Okay, alright, we got the dev teams on here. Okay, we got the dev teams on here. Okay, alright, 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 alright. Uh-huh. Let's just see what we got here. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. Okay. And then bada boom, bada bang. Okay. Alright, so right now Bitcoin, okay, 1 hour chart, right? You see Bitcoin 83,000, right? Okay, I'm using Trader's Reality Indicator. All right. So as you can see, Bitcoin is at 83,000, right? Okay. You can see that we're in between the 800 and the 50 EMA. All right. And you see this area here. So if we do end up coming back up towards this area, 84,889 would be a take profit range if we do see some upside momentum. Okay. Now, the stock market has been seeing some upside momentum, which is actually pretty good. All right. Ethereum, okay, back above the 200 EMA, which is basically this white line right here. Okay, so which is good. We cross back over here. All right, but we do see a downside on the RSI. So this is something that we want to pay attention to. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go to the daily on Ethereum. Okay. All right. So you can see as we hit the bottom right here, which is a liquidity point, all right, we started seeing upside momentum. Okay. So now basically the 50 EMA is sitting right here. Okay. So if we do see, and you see the RSI starting to turn back up, we want to see the RSI tap this yellow line and continue towards the upside. This will be beneficial for overall on Ethereum, okay? All right? Because Ethereum, as they are saying, especially with the reserves that Trump signed for, okay? Solana, okay? Now look at Solana, ready? Solana on the daily, okay? Now, we are below the 800 EMA, okay? I want to see us close a candle above that 800 EMA, all right? I didn't like this cross right here, okay? But I want to see an upside momentum, and if we do, okay, then we can actually hit the point here at 148 or 150, okay? Okay, and it says Solana price surged above 136 following the launch of futures ETS indicating, okay, so this is definitely, bullish in that range, okay? So this is basically what we're seeing right here, right? So let's go to the 1 hour chart on Solana for today, okay? Now let me go ahead and pull this up. All right. Okay. So now we're pulling up here. We're a little bit below. We're a little bit above that daily open. Okay, and we are moving towards the upside. Okay, you see this little yellow line right here? Okay, we want to see it curve up. Okay, instead of cross down. All right, so that's something that we want to pay attention to. So now I'm going to go down to an even lower time frame, which is the 30-minute time frame. Okay. All right, and then let's see what we have happening over here, right? All right. Check this out, okay? So we are moving up, okay? You see this RSI, it's starting to turn back up. I would love to see, okay, this purple line come up towards that yellow line, okay, and cross above it. So this is something that we're paying attention to, all right? So now I'm going to go to an even lower time frame, to the 5-minute, okay? And I'm going to see exactly what is going on, all right? So the next 5-minute candle is about to start. We want to see where this next 5-minute candle is going to do, okay? Is it going to push above, okay? Or are we going to have a little rejection right here, okay? Because you see this yellow line here, all right? See? Okay, so now we had a little bit of rejection. Oh, here comes this next 5-minute candle. Okay, let's see if we pop. Okay, and if we pop, that's good. But if we don't pop and we go below, then we need to pay better attention to the market. So look, okay, it popped up a little bit. All right, and as you can see, look at it. It's struggling. It's struggling for that little fight right there. So now, let's go ahead and see. Oh, okay, 5-minute. Yeah. 3-minute. Okay. 3-minute. Let's see. Okay. We're moving up. See this 50 EMA right here? Okay. At 129. All right. That's something that we want to see hit. Okay. The RSI is turning up. Okay. So that's something that we are paying attention to, for the RSI to be turning up, all right? But it's actually, coming down into that range right here, okay? So this is something that I pay attention to. Now we're on to that next 3-minute candle, okay? Now let's see. Oh, look, we see it. We're popping up. And then this is why we're watching Solana, okay? And then we go to Bitcoin, okay? And then, as you can see, Bitcoin on the 3-minute chart actually ended up coming back down. And you see this little yellow area? It's grabbing that liquidity. So let's see. Are we going to go past that liquidity point into the next liquidity point? Or are we going to see a rebound, okay, coming back up into that range, all right? So that's something that we want to see, okay, because it got rejected at the 50 EMA right here, okay? All right, we got rejected at the 50, okay? And let's see, we are at 6:37 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time. I just want to see what this next 3-minute candle is going to bring us, okay? And let's see. What are we going to see? So look, RSI turned down a bit, all right? I'm paying attention to this RSI, okay? I want to see it actually turn upward, but it doesn't seem at this moment that it's really going to be turning upward, okay? So basically, it's a waiting game, a waiting game to see, because we are on a 3-minute time frame right here, okay? And looks like that RSI, okay, is basically just sitting steady right there, okay? 638. Let's go like this. Ready? 1 minute. Immediate short term. Okay? So look, you see that? It's turning back up. I want to see it come over on this 1 minute, okay, and cross back over. But unfortunately, let's take a look into the next 1 minute. And let's see what this next 1 minute brings us. So that way we can have an idea of exactly what is going to happen. Okay? Alright, let's see. We got our next candle coming in on immediate short term on a 1 minute candle. Okay? Now we're into this next 1 minute candle. Okay? So it did come in green. It looks like that RSI is turning up a little bit. Okay, which is good, you know. But we really want to see it actually cross over. Okay, so now we're back into the red. You know, this is just some stuff that we want to pay attention to. And then this yellow line's actually starting to turn down, which we really don't like to see. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the 5 minute. Alright. And yep, we're calculating here. Okay, so 6:39, 1 more minute, and then it's into the next 5 minute candlestick. Right? Alright, Ethereum. Pro calculating. Okay? We want to see an actual. And then you see the pivot zones here. Pivot zone actually just moved down. And yep. Okay. So we are riding even right here on the RSI. Okay. So if I see it pull below a little bit, look at that. We're coming back down to the psychological low. Okay. And the 800 EMA is right here. So those are my buy targets, and then also targets right here, okay, for us to go towards the upside, right? Okay? So that's something that we want to pay attention to on that regard, right? Okay. Hold on. Dogecoin. All right? A lot of people messing with the Dogecoin now, okay? And then this is something that I'm getting back into, because Dogecoin at 16 cents, okay? I want to show you something on the 1 hour chart for Doge, right? Okay? So we're below the 50, okay? Daily opens right there, okay? M2 pivot zone's right there, and we also have a liquidity zone. 200 EMA is sitting right there at the 17, okay? And also we see the RSI turning up, okay? So this is what I'm going to pay attention to, And then let's go to the daily chart, okay, on Dogecoin. Look at that. On the Dogecoin. So ever since we wicked out, okay, and we're sitting right at this moving average, okay, those are buying points for me, okay, and this is for, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay. We did see that crossover, okay. We are in oversold territory, but we are back above that yellow line, okay. So the more that I see it move towards the upside, okay, and especially with the M2 money supply, all right, we could see some upward momentum, all right. So basically, my first buy zone is here. Now, if we end up wicking below that, okay, then that would be my second buy zone, all right. So this is just something that I pay attention to in the markets, right? Okay. So now, unicorn fart dust, right? On the daily, we're down to 3. Let me go actually to the 1 hour chart, okay? For all the UFD lovers, this is definitely a buy area. We are at the M1 pivot zone. We are at 3 cents, okay? So you can start doing some accumulation. M0 is right here, okay? So I do my first buy at M1, okay? And if we make it to M0, I do my second buy, okay? Because as soon as we see some increase in volume, because they just printed 1 billion, okay, and 275 million in stable coins, all right? So this is something that we can actually see happening here, okay? And this is something that I was, paying attention to because, hey now, and then look, oversold territory. So we're in oversold territory, and this is exactly why I'm buying into unicorn fart dust, all right? Pepe, all right? Pepe sitting right at that moving averages, okay? RSI starting to turn back up, okay? So this is my first area of buy zone for Pepe, okay? Because this is what I'm looking at on Pepe, okay? 50 EMA right here, okay? Bada boom, bada bang. Close above that 200. We see that little yellow line flipping up and the RSI flipping up. So we're going to be paying attention to that, all right? And for you guys that love the Trump coin, okay, I'm waiting till we get to the M2 pivot zone, all right? And then basically on the low over here, okay, so this is something that we need to pay attention to. Okay, RSI is turning down. So when I see RSI start to turn back up, that is exactly when I start to buy. I also mine XMR. XMR is above moving averages, which is excellent. They've been gaining some momentum, which is awesome. I love that, okay? Gold, look at this. Gold hitting all-time highs, okay? All right, we pulled back to this M0 pivot zone, okay? And now we're starting to cross back up, all right? So as soon as we hit that 200 EMA, boom, we made our gold purchases. Tron, okay? Tron, sitting way above those moving averages. We're above the 200, we're above the 50, and we're moving towards the upside, okay? And you can see 24 cents is on the way, so pay attention to that, people. U.S. oil, okay? Up a little bit, Dollar index, 104, so the dollar index actually did come up a bit, okay? All right, the strength of the dollar, so that's something that we were paying attention to. The S&P, we've been seeing some increases on there, the S&P. The VIX, okay, is actually lowering, okay, because the M2 money supply is actually beneficial. Okay, and then basically, don't forget to swing by, okay, at AVGuy9. I'm over here on X. Okay, I'm going to start using this. We're going to start, we're going to start dropping a lot of information, doing a lot of different things because, it's about time to go wild in the market, okay? So don't forget to swing by and join that, right? Okay, VIX is going down, okay? And we have Bitcoin once again, all right? So that's why I'm checking the Bitcoin, okay? And let's see, we turned down a little bit, all right? So I'm paying attention to this, okay? We did see this little psychological load calculation, all right? But if we do end up, coming down, turning down, okay, then I will end up, doing more buy orders, stuff like that. M2 pivot zone, if that comes into play, that would be a massive order, okay? But you got the 50 EMA and the M3 pivot zone, and then you also got the liquidity point up here at we'll say 85,000, all right? So make sure you pick your good orders, okay? Make sure you know what's going on, okay? So that way you can be bullish in the market. So you see that it's coming down a bit, all right? I'm just going to show you one more time on a shorter time frame, okay? On a 5-minute time frame, all right? Bitcoin coming down, Bitcoin coming down, okay? M2 pivot zone and psychological low. So if we hit that psychological low, okay, that is when I will set a order, okay, a leverage order. So you got to pay attention to that, guys. All right. Don't forget to follow me on X. Mad love and respect. All right. You've been chilling with Jay Strategy. We talk about the latest and greatest crypto news and much, much more. Until the next time, guys.